right, let's move on to our next question from Joe. What are the tax benefits, limits, or ramifications of transferring stock to my granddaughter?
Great question from Joe.
Aww.
And a generous one.
Yeah.
Sounds like a nice grandpa. So I think one of the main misconceptions that people have when they transfer stock to someone else is that maybe they'll get a better tax rate if I do that. And when he mentioned granddaughter, that stuck out to me as potentially someone who is not yet a full adult. So children tend to have, you think of children having better tax rates because they're not earning any money and they get the benefit of a deduction and all of that good stuff. But then you've got the kiddie tax that kind of comes in as this like dark cloud over that situation, because if you have unearned income as a minor, so if you're under 18 or if you're a full-time student and under 24, that unearned income is taxed at a beneficial rate only so much. So the first $1,050 is not taxed. The next $1,050 is at the student's or child's tax rate. And then anything beyond that is treated as if it was taxed inside a trust. So that used to be, it'll get taxed at the parent's rate. With this latest tax reform, the kiddie tax actually takes on the trust tax brackets, which are much lower. So any unearned income over those initial thresholds are going to be taxed at pretty much the highest capital gains tax rate when that person sells.
Right. When you say tax rates on trusts are lower, what you really mean is it does not take much income to get to those higher brackets.
Exactly.
It's surprisingly, really, trusts can be actually very tax inefficient.
Exactly. So the highest rate for an individual is in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. The highest tax rate for a trust, you get there over $12,500 of income.
Goodness.
So it's extreme.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that does kick in.
So another consideration that people often think of when it comes to gifting is the annual gift tax exclusion, which for this year it's $15,000. A lot of people think, oh, if I give more than that, I owe taxes. That's not true. It means you have to file the gift tax form, which is Form 709, and that just eats into your lifetime unified gift estate exemption, which is $11.4 million per person. Right? Am I getting this all right? I always have to look at Megan to make sure I got all this right. But basically, it just lowers that. So instead of being able to give $11.4 million when you die, it's 11.3 something.
39999.
So people don't have to worry about that. You just have to make sure you file that form.
All right. So, I mean, do you have any recommendations for Joe? What should he do if he wants to give stock to his granddaughter then?
So if the granddaughter receives the stock, she can hang on to it until she's beyond those kiddie tax age rules and sell it when she's a young adult, probably still in a very beneficial tax bracket. The other thing he could do, which is a little morbid, is to hang on to that stock until he passes away. And then there's a step up in basis, and his granddaughter, whoever he chooses, would receive that stock with no gains built in at all. It would be tax-free if they received it and immediately sold it.
Right.
Is it a pain in the patoot to transfer stock to someone?
Generally, no.
No, you just go to your broker and you're like, I want to give these 5 shares of Google to this person's brokerage account?
Generally speaking.
Oh, can I do that with anyone?
Sure, you can give me some if you'd like.
No, yeah, like seriously, could I just be like, I want to give you some of my stock? I could just do that?
Sure.
Oh.
I mean, they have to open an account and all that.